I have a small hour meter that I'm going to install on the generator. This also reads engine RPM, so it's a tachometer. You change the function by pushing that little button right there. It's got a wire, and the wire just wraps around the spark plug lead. You can either screw it to the case of the generator or use some double-sided tape by 3M. It's used for automotive trim. I've had really good success using this to stick different items. And looking down in the top of the generator, you can see that I've already removed the spark plug lead. And the objective here is to get this wire looped around the spark plug lead and then secured in place with a tie wrap. It's pretty tight quarters in here, so it was difficult to get my hands in there and manipulate the wire. But we want to pull this loop around the spark plug wire tight and then secure the tie wrap. And once you have your zip ties secured, then carefully take a pair of wire cutters and trim off that little extra tail of wire. And then you can tug on this to tighten up that loop around the spark plug lead. And then we'll route the other end of the wire up through the spark plug access port, and we will reattach our spark plug wire to the spark plug, and just carefully route this wire so that it's not interfering with anything or touching any parts that might get hot. So the hour meter has a little area right here. That's where we tuck the wire down inside, and it actually makes a loop and comes up and then goes back down through another hole. So it goes through the bottom hole, loop it around, tuck it into the other hole, and just stuff it down into that hole as far as it'll go. That other hole doesn't go all the way through, and then pull this tight like that. And with that tight bend radius, tugging on that wire, you can't pull it out. Potting compound sort of is a little bit recessed, so I'll have to double up my layers of tape when I stick this to the back of the generator. You can kind of see here how it's recessed. And I'll trim the wire about 3 or 4 inches above the top of the case to start. I've attached 2 layers of my 3M tape to the back of the hour meter, and we'll go ahead and install the wire. So what I've done on the spark plug cover is trimmed out a little notch for the wire to go through. I've picked my final location. I'm going to mount it right over here. I trimmed another little notch on the spark plug cover. Right at the top, which you might be able to see right there. My reasons for having an hour meter on a generator is so that I can track oil change intervals, and also it's beneficial to be able to show a prospective buyer how many hours are on the generator if you should decide to sell the generator.